So there's some interesting stuff happening with PlayStation right now. We've got some talks of a console that's going to kind of sustain the costs, but also come down in storage. And then we've also got something about a state of play and Wolverine finally getting seen sometime this year. Some of it kind of makes you feel like, well, does this make a lot of sense? And the other piece is like, oh man, this is super exciting because, well, we've been waiting a long time for Wolverine. And on top of that, we've just kind of been wondering when is this state of play happening? When is a showcase happening? Is there a showcase? Is there a state of play? Well, I've got some information for you guys on all that stuff. Starting with the console. So according to Deal Labs and Billy Billikun, Sony is planning to release a PS5 Slim Digital Edition with reduced storage from 1TB to 825GB in Europe on September 13th at €499. And this is to avoid further price increases. The disc model is going to retain a 1TB SSD for now, but I imagine that maybe they'll reevaluate things depending on how this goes. And it's pretty interesting as this is a strategy for Sony to kind of manage costs of the consoles and bring them down as much as they can so that the tariffs and all the economic things happening around the world aren't impacting the price because, well, a lot of people are hurting right now, whether it be for like things that are necessities, and then there's also things that are pretty much hobbies and extracurricular that don't seem viable as an option when it comes to, you know, certain people's lifestyles. So it's looking like Sony wants to kind of avoid that, as we know that they're having a challenge at least trying to sustain the PS5 price as it's gone up multiple times in many regions right now. So including Canada, by the way, we've dealt with quite a few price increases, and just recently America dealt with one as well. So it's really a problem that everybody is facing at this point. And according to rumors and leaks, we believe that the PlayStation 6 and the future hardware is going to try to target lower spec models to also manage a lower price point so people who are looking at consoles can actually go out and purchase them. As once we get into the $1,000 for a console, a lot of people are going to look the other way because, well, it's just so expensive. And we know that people aren't moving on because, well, the PS4 user base is still so high and the monthly active users on PS4 is still so high. So this is ultimately an interesting thing that Sony is experimenting with, and we'll see what they do and what they decide to do in the future. And I think this is just a testing ground to see what they can get away with to try to keep costs down. I actually think it's a positive thing, although a lot of people might look at, oh my God, 825 gigs of storage. Man, it's already tough to even fit one Call of Duty game. Imagine trying to fit a Call of Duty game and other games depending on who you are. With that aside, we've got some exciting news as well because we've got to talk about Wolverine and a state of play that's coming, and it's all really interesting and good. Well, Insider Gaming has something to say about Wolverine and the state of play that's coming at the end of this month. So Insider Gaming sources have revealed that Insomniac Games' Wolverine is ready to be shown off for the first time officially since the 2021 PlayStation Showcase. According to sources who wish to remain anonymous as they couldn't talk about company plans, PlayStation is currently planning its next state of play event towards the end of September, which, by the way, we've also heard from Jeff Grubb as well. Other sources revealed the Insomniac Games Wolverine is almost certainly going to be at the event as the production of its next trailer has now been completed. If the game doesn't appear at the state of play, then the trailer will undoubtedly be released in the next few months, with the Game Awards being the next likely candidate. So there you have it. We're getting more word of a state of play coming, and not the James Bond state of play we had, one that's going to showcase many games, and that is due for the end of September. Now, we've had one pretty much for like the last many years. I want to say well over 5 years that PlayStation has done some sort of state of play in September, but we're also expecting, according to Jeff Grubb and now Insider Gaming, that there will be something at the end of the month. And now we're also expecting that Wolverine could very well be there, but in the events that it doesn't show up, we can expect it sometime this year. Likely meaning if it's not here, it's at the Game Awards, which either way, it would really be a W. But I think that the state of play happening at the end of this month, which I believe is truly happening just based on the sources that are saying it, very reliable sources, that this could be a good state of play. And I think that even though Wolverine would be the headliner more than likely, there could still be room for other reveals as well, or revisiting other trailers as well. And we know one of them is actually Saros. If you guys remember, Housemarque had said that they would give us more information on Saros with, I believe they even had said some gameplay sometime this year. So it's got to be sometime in either September or possibly the Game Awards. So again, we come down to a point where it's got to be State of Play or the Game Awards. But I think that if Sony's going to do a State of Play, they really do have to come with something meaningful. So if Saros and if Wolverine aren't going to be there, I would question what will be there. But mind you, they could also show us that God of War game that apparently we were supposed to expect at the last game showcase, which I believe was the Summer Game Fest that had passed in June. So a lot of questions in the air, but ultimately I feel like PlayStation is about to come out in a way that impresses a lot of the fan base and makes a lot of the people who have purchased a PlayStation 5 happy, right? Wolverine being one of them, Saros being another one, possibly seeing a new Santa Monica game would be another one. And then I don't think we'll get Intergalactic, but it would be really cool to get another look at Intergalactic. And I certainly don't think Ghost of Yotei will be at the State of Play, as the game is out in October. It makes no sense for them to go ahead and give us more of that, as we've seen so much already. So I think a lot of you will be really excited about the State of Play that could be happening at the end of this month if it does deliver on what we expect. But let me know what you guys think about all this. What do you think of the new PlayStation Slim model and the decrease in storage? How are you feeling about Wolverine possibly being at the next State of Play? And what are you hoping to see there? Let me know down below. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and share the video to help grow our community. I thank you all for watching. Take care.